So alright guys, Tesla just showed a couple of things that they're about to release, but obviously when I say about, I mean in the coming years. And it was an event actually, and it was called the We Bought event, where Elon jumped on the stage and unveiled secret, call it secret, but anyways, he unveiled kind of taxi, or the future of taxi, and future of mini buses, bus, and also the future of robotics or humanoids. So without any further ado, let's jump into the video and talk about it. Your thoughts, my thoughts. What's the future like? Is it safe? Is it something that we welcome in this timeline? So let's just jump into it immediately.
Welcome to the We Robot Party. So we have quite a show for you tonight. I think you're gonna like it.
So as we can see, he jumped in the vehicle and it took him all the way to the location where the event is to start. Autonomous, no one was driving. Self-drive, guys, self-drive. The future is now.
Just arrived in Robotaxi, the Cybercab. And there's 20 more where that came from. So they've been traveling. There's no people in them, as you can see. The car's just going by with no people. And we have 50 fully autonomous cars here tonight. So you'll see Model Ys and the Cybercab, all driverless. You'll be able to take a ride in the Cybercab. There's no steering wheel or pedals. So I hope this goes well. I think the cost of autonomous transport will be so low that you can think of it like individualized mass transit. The average cost of a bus per mile for a city, not the ticket price because that is subsidized, but the average price is about $1 a mile. Whereas the cost of Cybercab, we think probably over time, from the operating cost is probably going to be around 20 cents a mile. And price, including taxes and everything else, probably ends up being 30 or 40 cents a mile. So yes, and you will be able to buy one. Yes, exactly. And we expect the cost to be below $30,000. We do expect actually to start fully autonomous, unsupervised FSD in Texas and California next year. And that's with the Model 3 and Model Y. And then we expect to be in production with the Cybercab, which is really highly optimized for autonomous transport in probably, well, I tend to be a little optimistic with timeframes. But in 2026. So, yeah. Before 2027, let me put it that way. When you get in, you'll see like it's really quite a wild experience to just be in a car with no steering wheel, no pedals, no controls, and it feels great. Something we're also doing is, and it's really high time we did this, is inductive charging. So the Robotaxi has no plug. It just goes over the inductive charger and charges. So yeah, it's kind of how it should be. Oh, and also, what happens if you need a vehicle that is bigger than a Model Y? The Robovan. The Robovan is we're going to make this, and it's going to look like that. Now, can you imagine going down the streets and you see this coming towards you? That'd be sick. So this can carry up to 20 people, and it can also transport goods. So you can configure it for goods transport within a city, or transport of up to 20 people at a time. So this is gonna, the Robovan is what's gonna solve for high density. So if you want to take a sports team somewhere, or you're looking to really get the cost of travel down to, I don't know, 5-10 cents a mile, then you can use the Robovan. Some people call it the Robovan, but speaking of robots, so everything we've developed for our cars, the batteries, power electronics, the advanced motors, gearboxes, the software, the AI inference computer, it all actually applies to a humanoid robot. So the same techniques, it's just a robot with arms and legs instead of a robot with wheels. And we've made a lot of progress with Optimus. And as you can see, we started up with someone in a robot suit, sort of down, and then we've progressed dramatically year after year. So if you extrapolate this, you're really going to have something spectacular.
So these humanoids, actually, they almost look human-like, at least Gen 1 right now. Just imagine when it gets to like Gen 3, Gen 5 and above, like, you know, software updates and, you know, next generation upgrades, the motion is going to be different from what we see on the screen today. So probably right now they may look like, you know, robots just walking, but just give it another 10 years. These things, the motion will be so smooth that you would almost think it's a human being walking in your home. And the fact it's gonna be cheap, up to 20 to 30 grand, it's just crazy. And here is the thing, he also said it's going to get as cheap as 20 to 30 grand, where everyone can actually buy this. Well, everyone. You must be rich to buy something of 30 grand. If it's not a vehicle, or something like an essential commodity.
Something that anyone could own. So you could have your own personal R2-D2 C3PO. And I think at scale, this would cost something like, I don't know, $20,000, $30,000. Probably less than a car, is my prediction long term. Now, it'll take us a minute to get to the long term, but fundamentally at scale, the Optimus robot, you should be able to buy an Optimus robot for, I think, probably $20,000 to $30,000 long term. So, and what can it do? It'll basically do anything you want. So it can be a teacher, babysit your kids. It can walk your dog, mow your lawn, get the groceries, just be your friend, serve drinks. Whatever you can think of, it will do. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. I think this will be the biggest product ever of any kind.
So that's it. That's the whole event. But before we, start jumping on our seats, I don't know about you if you're jumping on your seat, but I am definitely not jumping on my seat. Let's make a recap. So from the Cybercab and the Revolver. First of all, let's just talk about the Cybercab. How would you feel comfortable to be in a cab or a taxi that self-drives? Say for example, you're running late, you want to get to the airport and you need to, call an Uber. Actually, I do take an Uber or taxi whenever I'm going to the airport. That's because I don't want to be late. And then for some reason there's some kind of hold up. If there is human driving, you could like, please can you try to drive faster, or can is there a shortcut or something because you don't want to miss your flight. But in situation like this where cyber taxi or cyber Uber is programmed to run in one direction, unfortunately for you, you might miss your flight because it's one direction only. So that's one. And then two, I don't know how safe this would be to, how fast this could be to avoid some kind of accident. Like a human, for example, could be moving and, predict something coming, and you could use your intuition to understand how you could, maneuver such situation. But I don't know if the cyber taxi or the cyber cab would be able to do the same thing, even if Elon Musk claimed a couple of times that this is safer than human driving. So it could be safe, in driving, say, avoiding objects, because yes, it can avoid. But in a situation where you need that 0.1 second to snap and immediately respond, how fast can this be? Would it know if it needs to accelerate to avoid, or if it needs to stop, to avoid a clash? It's something we still don't know about. And another thing I want to touch on is the jobs, because when things like this comes up, people are going to lose their job. Simple example, Amazon and some other random, jobs, especially with invention of AI and all that. Too many people are losing their jobs. Like, people come out of school, graduates from university, and can't even fucking apply for a job. And here, all right, people in terms who are not graduates, and sometimes they live on Uber service, like, I don't know, maybe delivery or something of that nature. Now this is a specific niche, but here Elon is coming for that niche. So first of all, people who works in the warehouse or people who works in logistics are already losing their jobs, and now this is coming. Autonomous drive is coming for people who are driving. So this is another job people are going to be losing. And if the government, people may think government, but if you realize most of these things at the end of the day, once they get accepted by the government, bang, that's it. That's how people start losing their job. Example again, I will always take this back to Amazon. Soon as this, machineries replaced humans, thousands and thousands of people lost their job. So as soon as this self-drive or autonomous drive starts replacing humans again, even public transport, I'm talking about like public buses, trains, and all that, people will start losing their jobs as well, and this will be employed. So that's just my belief, that's just my thoughts. I don't know about you, leave your comment down below. So see the cost, for example, like the reason why you would pay $1 for $1 per mile in a taxi or in an Uber is because the driver as well needs to earn, such as the company as well, which provides the service, and also for fuel and all that. But now with the elimination of the driver and fuel, petrol and all that, that is why the cost will be reduced all the way to 30 pence or 30 cents, as Elon said. But reducing the price again, those are people losing their jobs. And the self-cleaning thing is what I was shocked about. Like, you don't need to plug anything, you just drive all the way to the center. It's going to be like a center, like how you drive your vehicle to car wash, it will automatically drive to that place, and there will be like all this machinery is already installed or pre-installed in that environment. They would know what exactly to do once the vehicle parks in that location. So car wash used to be humans who would do those cleanings, cleaning of the outside and the interior, but now again here is robots replacing human, taking jobs again. Talking about the revolver, I don't know how footballers will feel comfortable to be in a bus where no one is driving but computer. It's crazy. God forbid if anything happens, that's the whole team gone. The whole team gone. Like, so I don't know if companies are gonna buy into the idea or not. I for example, if I am some kind of sports team player, I won't be comfortable to be in an autonomous drive to take me from one point probably from the hotel to site of the game. Not a fan. But again, let's see if companies or if football teams are gonna start buying this or buying into this idea. I don't know if someone is excited about this. So it will start rolling out, he said, from next year. I think that will be in Texas and in California. That is where the first rollout will be. Like, you will be able to self-drive in Texas and California for 2025. But again, he wasn't too sure when he said that, and then he said all the way to 2026, and then again we heard 2027. Probably that's when self-driving will be available for probably in the United States. Again, lots of these inventions or lots of these things coming out strictly in the US, because the EU is totally different in Europe. Lots of things can pass through. For example, Tesla, of course, people do buy Tesla in Europe. However, self-drive is not something EU is going to allow. Simple example again, even the Cybertruck, you still cannot buy Cybertruck in Europe. That's because for EU legislation, regulation, the Tesla truck does not meet up road safety requirements. They think it's something dangerous to be on the road, and for the size, it's too big for a car. So you can't buy the Tesla truck in the UK, for example, in Europe at now. I don't see them passing through the EU anytime soon. And overall, I think the future is bright. The fact that these things are going to replace human beings, that's the place I have problem with. Lots of people are going to be out of job, like especially with AI. We're talking about AI today. Lots of people are going to start losing their jobs when most companies, integrate AI into their system. Like, why? You tell me, why should I employ you to code or build a website or create some, edit a video or something, when AI can do that? I mean, AI just came out 2 years ago, and look at where we are today. Just give AI another 3 years, it's gonna be crazy. Like, so many people are gonna lose their job. Elon was part of the mind, the idea of taking internet to the next level. So there you are. AI is there. Left AI, talked about regulation, and then now he's creating something even, I won't say more powerful, because at the end of the day it's all the same thing, but he's creating his own. So this is gonna be, it's just gonna be something that I just hope humanity, especially this generation, I just hope we're ready for it, because once this government allow these things to flourish the market, bear in mind, people say companies, some companies will say, oh, the staff or the workers are their priority. Trust me, companies don't give a fuck about you or your priority. They don't care about you. The aim of every company is to make gains, is to make money. And if they find a way to make money, they don't care. They will do it. So if they buy one machine, and one machine is going to cost them 10 grand, and if they employ you, they know they need to pay you, 30 grand a year, 40 a year, they would replace your ass with that machine. Simple example is Amazon. Amazon has replaced a lot of its workers with the robotics in the logistics industry, and it's just gonna keep rolling out. So as soon as it's got up, the stock market of Tesla dropped down. Like, how crazy is that? Like, this can make you a rich person in future, or let's say not extremely rich, but this can increase the money in your wallet in a couple of years time. But some people decided to just sell the stock and don't want to be part of this, something that would ruin humanity. And it's crazy. I saw some videos, like some people reacting like, oh my god, this is the future, this is nice. Like, you be in a car and you can sleep while your car is driving, or watch your best football game, or be in a meeting. Like, if you see from the demo, like, it could be your team's meeting and work on your laptop while you're driving on your way to work, which it is a good idea. However, when things like this starts replacing humans, it's gonna be crazy. So who is gonna be working? I mean, if these things out there, who's going to be doing the duty? Like, can you imagine, like, if everyone is a doctor, who's going to be the patient? Does that make sense? Future looks bright anyways, so fingers crossed. Leave your comment down below what you think about this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.